Hi everyone, Tony Tonkin here from my show. Glad you could be with me today to talk about something that's vitally important. Not really, just thought I'd say that. I did try to change the title on this, so if the title comes up incorrectly, I'll fix it later. Trying to develop something about the software that I don't quite understand, to be honest. But on this occasion, I just want to talk about a mate, a buddy, a friend, someone who's kind of I'm deeply involved with, someone that I admire and love at a very very ethereal sort of level, and that is Clive Palmer. Now, my mate, my buddy, my friend, my cohort, my fellow future politician, Clive, has been inflicted with COVID-19, and this is particularly sad because Clivey, as most of his friends will call him, has suffering from COVID-19. Now, not all that long ago, Clive was out at the rallies in Melbourne and probably Sydney, wherever he could sort of press the flesh and talk about crap that he knows very little about, which is what Clive does. And I can speak about Clive in this way because we're mates, you know. We have a deep and embedded relationship that goes back many years. And Clive, though, has been telling people that they need not worry about the vaccine because at the end of the day, according to Clive anyway, the vaccine is problematic mainly because it hasn't been around for as long as he has and hasn't endured the intensity of scrutiny that he has received over his lifetime. Therefore, because of all of that, it's not an appropriate vaccine, according to Clive. Now, Clive, in his wisdom, therefore, chose not to be vaccinated. Now, look, I don't object to people making choices about whether they be vaccinated, whether they not be vaccinated. I don't give a crap about what people may choose to do with their lives, providing the choices that they make are not going to harm anyone else. And particularly, I do get concerned though when people make decisions that harm their own lives too, because I don't want to see anybody harmed inappropriately, or simply, I just guess I don't want to see anybody hurt. Now, Clive, though, has, because he's decided not to get vaccinated and because he's 67 years of age, he is more susceptible, I guess, to COVID than perhaps a lot of other people would be. And, you know, when you make stupid decisions in your life and they wind up impacting you, I guess you're the only person that can be responsible for those stupid decisions. But when you're endeavouring to influence a whole lot of other people to make stupid decisions, then you are kind of responsible, I think, for the decisions that others may make. I appreciate that they might be independent. I appreciate that people have the right to make their own decisions, particularly about vaccinations and how they feel about COVID. But if we're an influencer, if we're going to influence people to do things that are just going to harm them, then, you know, we have to take responsibility for that. It's a bit like, you know, was Donald Trump responsible for what happened on January the 6th? Well, of course he was. He influenced those people. He caused them to make the decisions that they made. They believed in what he said, and they believed that the election was stolen. Therefore, in my view, he's responsible. Clive is responsible in the same way. But at the moment, Clive is in hospital, quite ill, with pneumonia, so we're told. So we'd just like to... Oh, wrong one. Bear with. So we'd just like to have a look, I think, at what the Australian newspaper says today about Clive. So he has pneumonia, and that's not good for someone of his age. He's overweight. You know, he's probably got a few other health problems as well, which we may not know about. But the fact that of his age and his weight would cause him to be susceptible to this virus. So Clive has tested positive to COVID and is also being treated for pneumonia, which is, I guess, a byproduct of the flu, and particularly a byproduct of COVID-19. It's a consequence, I guess, of getting the disease, is that your lungs may fill up with water. It has that water liquid. It hasn't got the ability to be able to get rid of it, and as a result of that, pneumonia can be quite lethal, which clearly it may be in his case. Now, I do need to make this qualification, though, and that is that I don't wish harm upon anybody whatsoever. Not even Clive, not even our enduring relationship that I have with Clive. No, I don't want any harm to come to him or to anybody else for that matter. So, when I'm talking about Clive here, it is sad that this has happened, but Dan is an idiot. So what can I say? So his wife also has COVID. Both are unvaccinated. Surprise, surprise. Multiple sources close to Mr. Palmer said he remains very sick and also being treated for pneumonia. So there are other issues, I guess, concerning his condition. They said that he's shown some signs of improvement in the past day and was treated at his Gold Coast mansion by doctors after leaving hospital on Thursday evening. Spokesman for Mr. Palmer said he could not comment on Mr. Palmer's status. Clive's medical condition is a matter between him and his doctors, and that's fair enough too. However, the rest of us may be interested, depending on, because of the stand he's taken against being vaccinated. He is recovering and is thankful for the wishes being sent to him. Big deal. Began to develop symptoms last Monday night. He had a scheduled meeting at the National Press Club, which he didn't attend. Mr. Palmer, he's a Queensland Senator, we know all of that. He started the United Australia Party, and he talks a lot of garbage and crap through that. Question the safety of effectiveness of vaccines, and has been accused of spreading misinformation, which he has. Just a week ago, he said he had no plans to get vaccinated. Of course I won't, he said. Many of the press have reported that we are an anti-vax party, but we're not. No, they're not. We're for vaccines, providing they're not COVID vaccines, clearly, but vaccines that have been through tried and tested systems of approval in Australia. So he wants a vaccine that is as old as he is, and that has been tried and tested. And, the question really is, who is he expected to try and test this if he's not expecting that to be done by himself and others? I expect some guinea pigs out there to do that. Well, we're all guinea pigs. And according to a lot of these anti-vaxxers, we're not going to last for 3 years anyway. So, which is encouraging, because that means I've only got a couple of years left, which is fine. But back to Clive. If you want to think about what makes a good politician, it's someone who cares for other people, may not necessarily agree with them, but who at least understands what they're saying, who can empathise with them. Clive Palmer's just an opportunist. That's all he is. He's not a politician. Don't think that he is. He's not. He's an opportunist to make himself appear to be more important than he actually is. He's kind of like the Donald Trump of Australia. He will do and say things that will supposedly aimed at to impress us about who he is, but he fails at every turn. He's tried to take the Western Australian government to task, or to the High Court over their banning of people entering the state during COVID, and he failed. And he's continually making litigious claims against others for things that he disagrees with, and he keeps failing. Well, my God, just like Donald Trump. And how can you trust a man to be in politics who is a big failure like Clive? So I don't wish him any harm. I wish him the speediest of recovery. I just wish he'd stay out of politics and everybody else's lives, because he has nothing, zero, to offer. Thanks, everybody. Take care. Look after yourselves. And more importantly, be safe.